and I am recording.
I'm also recording. So I guess we'll just use Discord since it doesn't really matter. We're all recording our own audio.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Stella, are you going to do your hosting intro stuff?
Yeah, I'll do the intro shit because this is a real episode, right? Because we're a real podcast.
Real episodes on real podcasts.
Real episode of real
Real
podcast.
professionals.
Totes profesh. All right. How did this go again? Sup Nerds, welcome to episode 39 of Powerful, a Power Metal podcast. This year has kind of sucked, but
Has it?
We
What
want
happened?
to what happened? Let's see. A deadly pandemic has plagued the entire world. Police beat up people indiscriminately just based on how they look, which is bullshit. There was a shit show of an election, a bunch of accusations of fraud. What else happened this year?
Some power metal came out this year.
Yeah, well, on a positive note, power metal came out. So this year might have sucked for a lot of people in some countries more than others, but power metal came out, and power metal can be enjoyed by people all through the universe. So
Yeah, we need those positive things in our lives, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of been a shit show. Like, my house flooded and we had to move out like on very, very short notice. So now I'm in like a very temporary setup without any of my stuff.
But you do have the powerful laptop to record this show,
because
right?
I brought the powerful laptop, which was acquired by totally legal means. And we're going to share with you some of our favorite albums that actually came out in 2020. So that when you look back and listen to this in the future, you can remember, wow, 2020, what happened?
It wasn't so bad, right?
It wasn't so bad because I just listened to power metal.
It wasn't all doom and gloom.
Which is kind of a lie, since I've kind of just been listening to Miss Arthim on repeat and listening to podcasts about serial killers to kind of like
To brighten the
distract
mood.
myself. To brighten the mood. As I work in real life, like wearing a mask for 8 to 10 hours a day. Yeah. So that happened.
But you said at the end of 2020 here, you're doing more power metal. You're turning a new leaf.
Yeah. So this is the end of 2020. I've transitioned myself back to power metal. There is a vaccine out for the stupid coronavirus, which I'm so sick of, and everybody is so sick of. So things are looking up. And for anyone who's wondering, the vaccine has been like clinical trials have been done on like thousands and thousands of people. It's safe. Don't at me with your anti-vax bullshit. I'm sick of it. I have a PhD in immunology. Fuck you. Let's get into power metal.
Yeah, fuck you, power metal.
Fuck you, power metal. Let's get hype.
All right, what are we? So what are we starting off the year of years here with?
Yeah, so I don't know who's heard of this band from France. They're called Dark Tribe. And I just realized this album came out in January of this year. I thought it came out like 3 years ago because
January this year doesn't exist.
Yeah, because it felt like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's forever ago. Forever ago. Makes no sense.
Yeah, so Dark Tribe's 2020 release is, I don't know how to speak French. I'm sorry, French listeners. Voici le homme.
I don't speak French either. I would say something similar to that.
Voici yeah, actually Biscuit knew how to pronounce this.
Oh, okay. Well, he's our language learner of the group. I'm just
he's not here.
Well, we don't have him today.
He's not here.
So we're going to have to butcher all the French stuff.
Yeah. So these guys are French, but I would say if you're a fan of like Italian power metal, you would probably like this. my favorite track is just Prism of Memory, which is the second track.
They always open with a really strong track.
Yeah.
Like their first album did the same thing.
Yeah.
Prism of Memory is like super like cheesy with a like inspiring chorus. It's just solid power metal all around. Is the vocalist Timo what's his face? It sounds a lot like him. The Stradivarius guy.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
It sounds a lot like him, unless I'm crazy.
It's not Timo
No.
from Stradivarius. The vocalist is named Anthony Agnello, and I guess the tone is like they have the layered vocals kind of thing going on. It's not like the brightest vocals, but I feel like it's kind of lower in the mix, so the like crunchy-ish guitars really stand out. But yeah, no, this is like really good melodic power metal. It sounds like it was released in the early 2000s. I think if you liked the mid-range, like if you like mid-era Stradivarius albums, like you would enjoy this.
Okay.
Yeah, Stradivarius does seem to be a good influence here. And they have a decent variety on their tracks too, beyond just like straightforward catchy power metal. They dibble into the more symphonic stuff. There's like slower, like almost like progressive stuff too. I think their first album also had some almost like industrial stuff on it.
Yeah.
That's also the kind of like the theme of the album.
Yeah, I think that this is a bit more straightforward power metal than their previous efforts. So it's all my idiot tired brain can handle right now. So
might be easier to get into.
It's pretty satisfying. So yeah, check out Dark Tribe. I'm not gonna try pronouncing it again because I feel bad that I don't speak French.
Voici, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't learn French.
I think it means voice of man.
Voice of man.
Like that.
Voici l'homme. Voici l'homme.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so apologies for people who actually speak French, but this is some good shit. The next album that we would like to highlight is Seven Spires, Emerald Seas, which was released in February.
This is one of the highlights of the year for me.
Right?
So good. Just
remember February when like gyms were still open and we could go out and we were looking forward to like
so many shows we were looking forward to, including Seven Spires.
Including actual Seven Spires.
Yeah.
Oh god, I laugh.
We're
and
even gonna meet up back then.
Yeah, I remember when we actually were going to go to Hyperspace, which was a music festival. Remember those?
Yeah. Wild times. We're going to actually meet in Canada.
We were going to meet in Canada. We were going to have a Canadian adventure.
But
do you ever like see like crowds people in like videos or like even like movies from like years ago and be like get secondhand anxiety like no you can't do that?
I don't.
Not yet. We're not so far.
Well, I completely recognize that all of this is temporary and the end is near. We can do this, guys. Don't give up.
We can
do this. Like some people have told me that they have dreams with masks on. I don't. Like I fucking wear the mask every day at work. But I don't have a dream with it on. That's ridiculous.
No, that's ridiculous.
No, this is temporary. We'll go to shows again. I promise.
We'll go to shows, including Seven Spires.
Including Seven Spires.
Who had a really good album this year.
Yeah, they fucking did. I think I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, but let's talk about it again.
They deserve it.
It's worth it.
So it's definitely worth it. They've got like power metal, symphonic metal, like death metal stuff in here. It's all good. Adrienne Cowan is probably one of the up-and-coming crazy good vocalists.
Yeah, I feel like she's finally getting the recognition that she deserves. Like, she's so good. From her live performances in Avantasia, from, like, Seven Spires is her band. Like, this is her project. So, it's really good here. She delivers, like, strong harshes, and her cleans are, like, really powerful either. Also, I don't know if I said either.
And like just like today or yesterday, she released like a metal cover of Silent Night in minor key, which is spooky
That's
and pretty
badass.
cool.
It's
He
spooky
loves
and
that
black
spooky
metal-y.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like found her on YouTube from her Dimmu Borgir cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got over
Yeah.
1 million.
Yeah.
She does great stuff, and listening to the Emeralds you can also tell she's a great songwriter.
Yeah, and like she's also a big fan of Camelot, and this album kind of reminds me of Camelot if Camelot was still
They
good.
literally rip off Camelot in like at least 1 or 2 of the songs.
Yeah. Yeah, except it's like better.
These
I would
days, yeah.
say. Yeah.
I'm much more looking forward to Seven Spires' upcoming output. Speaking of which, like, because they haven't been doing shows this year, they were just like, well, fuck it, let's make a new album.
Yeah.
So I think the third one's coming next year.
Yeah, they already
That's pretty
have
cool.
almost everything recorded, if I understand
That's awesome.
correctly. And also, for anyone that likes the way that Adrienne sings, like I do, she actually sings almost every day on Instagram, and it's great because she's just like practicing, but it's really nice to listen to.
On like stories or something?
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Cool. If anyone wants to hop on the social meds.
It's,
Instagram's the place for metal, I think. So that's where you gotta
it's
be.
the one
Yeah, I think so.
the one thing that I look forward to checking Instagram for is like listening to Adrienne to some song in there because it's so nice.
I feel like that says a lot because there's a lot of shit on Instagram.
There's
I know,
a lot of shit on Instagram.
Instagram is a hot mess. My Instagram recommendation is Topi the Corgi. Topi the Corgi is a dog who lives in Finland, and he is the most adorable corgi ever. And he's a professional actor.
Yeah.
As in, he has a YouTube channel, and it's amazing. Anyway, so listen to Seven Spires, subscribe to Topi the Corgi.
Yeah. And also, if you want, you can also follow us on Instagram. We will not clog up your feed because we barely
We don't
post
use
anything.
it.
But
No, because
one day,
I'm mad at Instagram.
yeah, one day we might post something there, and you want to be there when it happens.
It'll be a moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm mad at Instagram because they like to censor like small content creators.
Oh, that sucks.
Like us?
They do. A lot of my friends who are like pole dancers have been getting their stuff censored because it's sexually explicit. Like, come on, get over yourselves.
Oh,
you
man.
let all these
I'm sure there's far worse stuff.
Yeah, there,
I know,
there
right?
definitely is.
Instagram like provides a platform for conspiracy theorists and like hate speech, but then they censor like some random pole dancer with like 15 followers. Like, come on. Jesus Christ. On that note,
Speaking of social media nonsense, let's talk about...
speaking of social media nonsense, this transitions perfectly into Nightwish, human period pipe nature period. Did I do that right?
That awful.
I think so.
That awful.
No, that was
album
horrible.
title.
Yeah. I don't know. Instagram makes me mad. This album makes me mad. What else is new?
Yeah, I think we bitched about this a lot with our friend Dan back in whatever month that was.
Yeah. I really enjoyed having Dan on this show. Like, he has a lot to say about Nightwish.
Yeah.
Maybe too much to say about
Maybe
Nightwish.
too much to say about Nightwish. I thought it was obnoxious at first, but like, we heard him out because we like to listen and learn. And he's completely right. I think this album is a bunch of hogwash. These songs sound completely uninspired. It's like somebody just like piped old Nightwish into AI and this bullshit came out.
It makes me sad because like
Yeah.
I had hopes for this album. I thought, okay, maybe they kind of figured out their shit and like, no, they're just going
Yeah.
No.
further off the deep
Yeah,
No.
because
end.
Noise, the single Noise, like seemed some like promising. I know we all
Yeah,
shot
I
on
like
it,
that
but
song.
it was a nice song. It had a nice hook. It was completely ripping off the Game of Thrones theme song,
Hey,
but
don't worry about that.
but it's still
there are no original
Also-
thoughts.
Noise, I thought Noise sounded a lot like the part 3 of the greatest show on earth. Or like, I don't know, what is it? The second, I don't know.
One of the parts?
It had a lot of, one of the
The
parts
We
of
Were
greatest
Here
show on
part?
earth. Not We Were Here.
It's a long song. A lot happens in that.
Fuck, a lot happens, but they share a lot of melodies with that. It just felt like the same melodies and the same riffs were reused, which is not a surprise.
it's not
and
a
then
surprise.
I feel like Nightwish realized that they were also good at campfire ballads. Like back in Dark Passion Play when they made that one with Annette.
Hey, The Islander is a phenomenal song.
It is a wonderful, great song. So, like, they realized, like, oh, people like an Islander. So, people fucking love an Islander. So, they just, like, redid that. Yeah, and it's like, okay, I don't know. None of it is innovative. This is...
It's a bit stale.
Not exciting. Yeah.
It's just boring to listen to. I forgot it happened until I came across this list. And I'm like, oh, right, they did do that.
And then this last part, all the works of nature, which...
Adorn
Spotify
the world.
Adorn the world. Like, it's elevator music.
Yes.
And it comes across as like super pretentious.
Yeah, I know. And it's not even good elevator music.
It's too pretentious and not enough substance. It doesn't deliver on what it tries to make you think it has.
Yeah, and all these titles like Vista, the blue, the green. It doesn't convey any of that shit when you listen to this song.
No, it doesn't at all. And like, if it lived up to what it was trying to convey, or if they went the other angle and they became like a parody of themselves, that would be fine. But the fact that it's all played super straight just makes it really boring, but also really fun to kind of shit on.
Yeah.
It does give us content.
It gives us content. Because this is the second time we've shared this album, and I hope that it's the last, because we should just... I don't know. I'm like over Nightwish.
We're never going to talk about human nature ever again.
Yeah, this album doesn't exist. And I'm mad at Nightwish. Mad at Instagram. Just mad in general.
But you know what I'm not mad at?
What?
What? Kyle,
I'm not mad at the band Dark Forest from the UK. Because they put out a lovely album this year called Oak, Ash, and Thorn.
They did a thing. And it was nice.
Yeah. They have a really nice style combining sort of like traditional heavy metal, power metal, and folk metal into this like super like warm, comfy sound that is like super melodic, and I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, if like crunchy guitar riffs are warm and comforting to you, then this is the album that you should go to.
Yeah, but like even underneath that, they have like these like soothing vocals, and there's always like the lead guitar always has some melodic line going underneath.
Oh yeah,
that.
there's some really awesome guitar melodies in this album.
Yeah, I think my favorite song on it is Relics. That's the one I would most pick out to go for. Midnight Folk, I think, was the single. That one's also really good. The towards the end, Edric's Return, all good stuff. I've gone through this album many times over the year.
Nice.
I remember. Did you guys listen to this one very much?
Yeah, I did, but it's been a few months. It's definitely one that I want to come back to.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
What?
I didn't listen to it.
You should have lied to me.
That's lie to me.
Is that a song?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's all good because you can listen to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did listen. List. Yeah, put it on the list. Dark Forest, Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And the next one on our list, like, I think all of us listened to this one a whole bunch. And we even interviewed Baptiste from Boisson Divine on our show. So they had a release called La Halla in May. This is the one where the entire album was in Gascon. I'm sorry, I cannot speak any languages other than English and Indonesian, and like 2 words.
How much power metal is there in Indonesian?
There's some.
Yeah, there is some. There's a band that's literally called Power Metal.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's amazing. I think Indonesians love thrash metal more, and they also love black metal. So I know more like Indonesian black and thrash than like power metal. Anyway, Boisson Divine, awesome release this year. One of our favorites. Favorite track, maybe Su Camin Estela.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
The like banjo-ish intro.
Yeah, it has a cool banjo intro. But honestly, I feel like all of the tracks are really good.
Yeah, this is one of those albums that you should listen in full from
listen
start
to
to
all of
finish.
it.
And
It's really
you will
good.
want to come back to most of these songs. Like also Lope la Porc and the cover, I think it was the cover, yeah, Libertad.
Yeah, it's the first track. Yeah.
Chevalier de Cetraya. All these songs are so good. And
They're so high energy.
Yeah.
So like imagine if like Falconer was at a dance party. That's what you would that's what
Falconer dance party.
Yeah, that's what Boisson de Ville is. It's like very, very energetic.
Yeah,
There's some
it has a lot of
really cool riffs.
It has a great deal of punk energy injected into their power metal. And it shows and it's great. It's just
It's so
lovely.
folky.
Power metal. I
yeah.
like that.
Listen if you like a banjo.
Who doesn't
bitch-
like a little banjo?
Yeah,
just throw
this
it in.
bitch likes a banjo, so yeah, check it out.
If you're a banjo bitch, make sure
You're
you
a banjo
hit that
bitch.
Boisson DV.
Also,
Boisson
and if you're
Divine.
interested about what the songs talk about, in the band's Facebook, there's an explanation in English for the lyrics of all the songs. And you know, as we mentioned, this is they sing in Gascon, which is a language from a region of France, and it's like halfway through French and Spanish, so it's a bit of a very niche language, if you will. So it's worth checking out the explanations and everything, and they do this from their love of that region and that language that might be getting a bit lost as time goes by.
It's really a cool thing for them to just keep alive with their music,
Mm-hmm.
which we talk about in depth on our interview with Baptiste.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out our interview if you haven't already. It was really fun. We drank beer and wine through Skype, which
The
is
dude
always
just makes
fun.
wine and makes metal. He's living his best life.
I know the dude makes wine and makes metal and lives in the countryside, which looks beautiful from pictures we see on the internet. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
living the
stuff.
life. Yeah. Okay, the next album that we want to recommend is called Moments. The artist is called From the Depths.
Yeah. With
Sorry, that was confusing. From the Depths.
from the
From the
depth,
depth,
one single
singular.
depth,
It's
No.
only,
not
only one
depths,
depth.
because there's other bands that
From the Depth. Just one depth.
yeah,
That's,
just one
that's
depth.
the artist. And the album is Moments. That took like an hour to explain. Jesus Christ. God damn. So who the hell are From the Depth?
I haven't heard of them before, but they've been active
It was
for
my
10
first
years.
time too.
Uh,
Apparently.
Yeah,
10 years, what?
yeah, they were formed in
news to me.
2010, but they released a couple singles, CPs, demos, and another full album before, I think in 2015 or something.
Yeah, they've been active since 2008.
They are from Italy.
And they're from Italy. And you know, I'd like to just shout out I'd just like to mention, like, maybe it's really hard for a group of people to like record an album together, you know?
It
We'll
is.
probably we'll get more into it in our exclusive interview later that I'm hinting at.
Uh-oh.
But this is the most exclusivist of interviews. But yeah, like, you can just have a band for years, and then like it takes forever to, you know, compile all the songs and like record and have enough for an album.
Mix it and master it and
It takes
promote it.
forever.
God.
But yeah, Moments is only the second full-length album of this band called From the Depth. And looking at the cover, I'm the fucking asshole who judges things by the cover because I'm very superficial. This cover looks like
it's very
a rip.
purple.
It's very purple. It looks like a rip-off of Camelot's Fourth Legacy. So I was like, whatever, this is gonna suck. But I
Oh, yeah,
listened
kinda
to
does.
it, and it didn't suck.
It definitely
No.
doesn't suck.
It does not suck.
It's this good, like, kind of like old school Italian power metal. I get like Labyrinth, Secret Sphere vibes from this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I love it. This is like for fans of older Labyrinth. If you listen to this is gonna take you back to the early 2000s.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember?
This is like the straightforward kind of power metal that we miss sometimes with modern releases.
Yeah.
This was like a nice thing when it showed up. I don't even remember who found it that started sharing it with us.
I have no idea.
But-
Somebody in our little community.
Yeah, the song Spread Your Fire is great. 10
Not
years.
to be confused with the anger song.
Not to be confused with the anger one. It's its own song, and it's also a great power metal banger. The last track, the second to last track, A Matter of Time, is also a great one. Hypnos is nice. Like, it's a nice album. It has a solid bunch of straight power metal songs. Not a lot of
straightforward power metal. Like, you can hear the bass. There's a bit of, like, keyboard atmosphere and whatever. Vocals is like, I don't know. The vocals is very powerful and
power metal.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
It doesn't like abuse the keyboards. It just peppers them in just that right amount. Just like the way those Italians do. They know how to eat. They know how to make power metal.
Yeah, definitely.
They know food. They're very particular on food. And their flavor of power metal is simply excellent. Never mix fish and cheese, apparently. As I learned watching Food Network's Chopped.
I've been doing a lot of Italian stuff this year. I watched through all of The Sopranos, and I've been like trying to make more like Italian dishes. So
really?
I'm all in for this. I don't have any Italian heritage.
Listening to From the Death. Neither do I, but I enjoy watching Italians critique food.
That's
like
nice.
No, you're not supposed to put cheese on fish. Like the flavors clash. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from like a person who doesn't eat either of those things, but I know this.
Important life skills.
Yeah.
Important life skills. I know. To critique food. Okay. So that was From the Depth, which is the band. Moments, which is the album. Got it? Got it.
What else do we have?
Yeah, we're still here in June. And actually, June has been pretty good. June was when Falconer came out.
We got to give a special shout out to Falconer. With this being their final album. I don't think people usually announce before an album comes out, by the way, this is it.
This is it. We're done after this.
Day.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a weird move.
I really respect them for that. It's better than like pretending that you're going to tour and do things.
We're used to final tours,
you're not going
right?
to.
We're used to final tours, final shows, and whatever, but not really So we're taking this time. This is going to be a lot of effort. We're doing it for ourselves. And this will be the end of this journey with the band, and you will be able to listen to it. And it's like a much more premeditated thing, maybe.
Yeah. It's very like it's a very conscious decision.
There was also because they did like an actual post saying all these things, and there was some hint of like, we did this album and we like it and we like what we did, and it's our way of closing this chapter. Even if people don't like it, the band is over, so nobody cares.
I like it because they ended on a high note, because this album is phenomenal.
It is nice.
It wasn't like they kept trying to churn out albums and like slowly got worse and worse. This was real good. It's like, I think Desert Dreams was the first single coming out of this, and you could already tell that this is going to be like something really special.
Yeah. One of the things I appreciated them saying about this being the last album is they tried to really like hit a lot of high points of like the metally songs gonna be really metally, the folky songs are gonna be really folky, the ballad's gonna be really ballady. So no, they're not just phoning it in for this last effort here.
It is an actual effort. That's the main thing.
I want to give a particular mention to the song "Rejoice the Adorned," which is the ballad on the album. It is
it's gorgeous,
phenomenal ballad.
Yeah, I've for fans of Matthias Blad's vocals, I always said he sounded like musical theater, but I feel like he
is a musical theater person.
Yes, because that makes sense, and he like delivers it so well in this song.
Yeah, normally ballads are like the boring, oh my god, why is this here? Let's just skip it.
I love ballads, and
don't skip those ballads.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of power metal people don't like ballads, but I feel like ballads are fucking the best.
Yeah, like Matthias Blatt has always been like a good singer, but he just flexes so hard over the piano on this.
Yeah, enjoy that vibrato. Enjoy that like emotional delivery.
The emotion, dude.
The emotions.
You don't get that from a lot of power metal
You
people.
feel like he's about to cry, and then you're gonna cry too.
I'm rejoicing that song, rejoicing this album. Rejoice Falconer. They're a phenomenal band.
Yeah, I mean this album isn't just about crying and like emotional stuff. It gets pretty like fast and heavy as well.
Yeah, Rapture, the last song, has like blast beats in it.
Yeah, they end on like a pretty fast note with Rapture.
Nice stuff.
But
I always get a kick out of the second to last song, Thrust the Dagger Deep. I am immature and I think it's funny.
And we can go here from this dying Ember into a blossoming new band.
A new Ember.
That we
a new Ember.
That we saw get born and get really relatively big fast for power metal standards.
Yeah, considering they have 3 songs and a cover.
Which is Fellowship, which you might remember we had on the show in the most chaotic episode where we had the whole band.
How many people were on that? Like 8?
Yeah, it was insane.
It was a lot. We were just hanging out on Skype and people like listened for some reason. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fellowship, I want them to live up to the promise of their debut
I cannot
EP.
wait for their actual album.
Mm-hmm.
This EP has 3 songs. The track Glint is like, I think, one of the best power metal songs I've heard.
Yeah,
in a hot minute.
It's one of our favorites.
For an extremely long time. It's just so positive and the vocal performance is ridiculous.
Yeah. This is great stuff, and not only Glint. Like Glint is like the damn highlight, and then also the Hours of Wintertime and Hearts Upon the Hill, the other 2 songs, they are also great songs. They are just they're not something to discard. They are actually really good.
Wintertime and Hearts Upon the Hill are amazing. I would say you would like Fellowship if you wish Twilight Force had more guitars.
Yeah. That's a great way to
sum
put
it up. Yeah.
You're like, I wish this was power metal. Well, this is power metal.
It's so power metal. It's so good. It's
so
glorious and inspiring.
Oh my God.
Like, this is why we all kind of fell in love with the genre in the first place.
And the band dresses like hobbits.
Yeah.
There is no shame
the
here.
The videos are super wholesome and lovely.
Yeah.
It's so lovely.
Yeah, like the Glint video with the colored smoke. Like, it's silly, but
that's an
like
insane
hobbits?
video. And like, people might not know this, but that video took a lot of work to do. The vocalist of the band, actually, he's a professional video guy, so he did most of the things, and he specifically worked on post-production to make all those color smokes just pop.
Yeah, like all the color grading bullshit they did.
Yeah, he did like a ton of extra hours of work just to make sure that thing looks as great as it does.
Oh man,
it's insane. And
yeah, you'll put in that effort if this project is your baby.
Yeah, and
like this is his project,
and we're all grateful for that because it actually looks great. It sounds great. It's a great song.
Your effort was worth it.
And can't wait for when the full album they are working on, because they've been working on it. Like, it's been hindered as everything this year, but they've been working on it, so hopefully.
Yeah, I know. I think their first estimate was like Christmas, which it's pretty much Christmas now.
It's all good.
Not quite there.
It's okay.
Give it time.
It's understandable.
Cook.
Yeah, just work on it as you need to, whatever time it takes.
Take your time. Don't release stuff too early when it's not ready. Don't be cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk is mostly fine on my powerful PC.
Oh, on a powerful PC.
On the most
I've got
powerful.
like 40 hours in it.
It's mostly fine on your powerful PC.
Mostly fine because
I only have like 5 quest break. It's fine.
Just for you, but think about everybody else. Which is something that I know a lot of folks struggle with, thinking about other people. Like,
it's hard.
This bullshit.
Yeah,
it is hard.
I was talking to a friend of mine. Like, they're like, "Oh, I want to download Cyberpunk on my Xbox One." I'm like, "Ooh,
no,
don't do that.
Don't
go
do it.
Don't
Like,
download
first-
Cyberpunk. Listen to
like-
Fellowship instead.
Listen to Fellowship instead, and if you want, you can also listen to Lovebites.
Dude, Lovebites, always amazing.
this was I kind of forgot this was this year as well, because I listened to this when the world was still okay.
It was early January.
It was early January.
It's like it's part of last year in our minds.
Of the before times. Yeah. But I feel like we've reviewed this before.
We did once, but
we did.
it's worth talking about it now to remind people that this exists, because at least I keep seeing people on the power metal subreddit asking like, "Oh, I discovered that there are bands in Japan that make power metal. Do you have any recommendations?"
Wow, no,
And it's
really?
like, yes.
Yes,
all of this.
Absolutely.
And this album actually came out later in the year for the US, if you guys
it's like
recall.
April, I think.
Yeah, but it actually came out in January for the rest of the world because of licensing shenanigans.
I really want Lovebites to get bigger, like outside of Japan, and just get
Yeah.
that international
Yeah, and
acclaim.
I want them to
Me
tour
too.
with Dragon Force in the US. That would
Yeah, they
be
went to the UK.
I know the UK got Lovebites opening for Dragon Force, and we were all so jealous.
Yeah, definitely. And if you look at any live videos, they are great live. It's such a good show. And the album, Electric Pentagram, is really cool. I think it's a bit different from their previous albums. Their previous albums sound way more Westerner than this final one.
Yeah. That's a really good point there. Yeah, I feel like Japanese power metal has like a really distinct way that they do melodies.
Yeah.
And I'm not like technical enough to realize what they're doing.
They are more influenced by other genres of music. Like they are more influenced by jazz and pop in a more natural way than we are used to here on this side of the world. Like pop music and metal music have some hard lines between them sometimes, and especially with jazz. But in Japan, they are all the big soup.
Yeah, Lovebites has a lot of like their guitarist often references that like she's influenced by Slayer and thrash.
Yeah.
So like this is why Lovebites appeals to, I guess, us.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Western artists, because they have this sound that they're more familiar with, this like thrashy sound.
It's more thrashy, more straightforward than the other power metal bands from Japan. And this album,
they do some weird stuff though, like Dancing with the Devil and Frozen Serenade on
Oh
this
yeah,
album.
that's what I mean.
Dancing with the Devil was a bit like more groovy for some reason, like right in the middle.
Yeah, that's what to me sets apart this album from the previous ones, because their previous albums didn't have this kind of thing, and I really like that kind of thing.
It's all mixed in. I like that when an album has diverse styles in it, so kind of breaks it up a little bit.
The thing on this album that really stands out to me is the guitar solos. Now, like all power metal, you got to have your ripping guitar solos. But these in particular, I don't know what it is about. It's like these Japanese bands. Like you got this and Galnerius, like they just go extra hard on those solos. They make them dramatic and
and they're like so long.
They hit different, right? They're long.
Yeah.
And they have this build, this climax to them where you're just like, holy shit, this is still going, and it's amazing.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah,
I recommend checking out the When Destinies Align video.
When Destinies Align is my favorite track from the album. I just feel like the way that, I don't know, Japanese bands even write their verses and their bridge is like, I don't know, it's the melody style is very distinctly Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole song in itself.
Mm-hmm. And
yes.
So if you haven't listened to this, go check it out, because you might love it.
Yeah, I'd put in my top 5 for the year.
I don't know.
Maybe even
I don't
higher.
I didn't really make a top 5 because I'm so tired, but I love this album.
This one's there. I'm putting it there.
Maybe it's there somewhere. If I had a top 5, it would be there. So next, we want to talk about another Japanese band, Unlucky Morpheus.
Yes, Unlucky Morpheus released Unfinished this year.
It was unfinished. What is this, Cyberpunk?
Hey, it was just titled unfinished. I don't know if it was actually unfinished. It sounds
It's plenty finished
to me.
It's plenty finished.
Yeah, it was extremely finished. The final track of this album is very finished.
Yeah.
It's called Carry On Singing to the Sky, and it's just like the most satisfying power metal song. It has I don't know if it's
a
actually
tribute to
canon.
Yeah,
Andromachos.
it's a tribute song for the late
It's-
Andromachos, which the first vocalist of Angra. And it has a lot of quotes from Angra songs. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful tribute.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, I that was one of my picks for like top songs of the year.
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
it has
of that-
the
that
little
emotional level.
you know how Angra does like all the little choral flares, like call and response thing with the chorus,
Yep.
with the choir. Yeah, they do that. The chord progression is very like satisfying and comforting.
Mhm.
It has like little bits of canon.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, they do. They actually show they're like, this is. Sometimes we refer to bands these are like ex worship, right?
Yeah.
This is what this would be Angra worship, and
This
as
is
a positive,
literal
as a positive
worship, yeah.
adjective, like they show that yes, so we have this band from Japan that have been doing power metal for a long time, and how much Angra from Brazil have influenced them in what they do, and they are showing it here on the most splendid way ever. It's like, yeah, we know these bands work, and now that we have lost this legendary vocalist, we want to show everyone that how much he meant for us in our musical journey.
That was very well said. Very
It's
well
a great
said.
example of the whole like community in the world coming together to honor this guy who had such a big influence.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very wholesome, very comforting, and it's Carry On Singing to the Sky is one of the most power metal titles you could give a song.
I know
Yeah.
it's like so Japanese power metal. Carry on.
While being influenced from
It's
Brazil.
beautiful. With the influence from Brazil.
And like the lyrics of like he would say there's a meaning to life, like referencing the actual Carry On vocals. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
all
I
with
cry.
doing
Cry
Unlucky
every time.
Morpheus's like whole violin heavy style, which is kind of like their thing.
Yeah, it's their thing. They have a solo violinist, and it's pretty badass. The rest of the album is like quite different though. There's a lot of
It is like a heavier album from them. I think.
it is quite heavier. It kind of Darko probably knows the Gazette, right? Another
Yes.
Japanese band. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got like the Gazette vibes from them, from this album in particular.
Yeah.
Not from like previous Unlucky Morpheus.
Yeah, they tend to be
But,
more
yeah.
power metal, and this is like darker and heavier.
Yeah, this is like the rest of the album isn't super power metal. It was just like this last, Angra tribute track that was power metal. The rest of it was just like, I don't know. It was like groovy-ish, like jazz-ish with like harsh vocals.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot
Super
more harsh
weird.
vocals than I was expecting.
Really, it's really cool. Still has a lot of solo violin.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite songs on this is Top of the M, which really does feature the like faster violin type stuff.
You like the songs that sound like power metal.
I like the songs that sound like power metal.
I wonder
Meanwhile,
why.
I talk on my
Wonder why.
power metal podcast.
I
and
wonder
listening
why.
to power metal every
Hmm.
fucking day. Oh my god.
Can't say. So mysterious.
I am a basic ass bitch.
You are a mystery. Unpredictable mystery.
Oh, wait until you hear what my favorite song on the next album is gonna be.
So the next album that we want to come out, we can't, just talk about a power metal podcast without mentioning Unleash the Archers, who unleashed an album in August of this year called Abyss.
Abyss.
One of the higher profile releases, I'd say. They've been getting a lot of attention the last few years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Highly anticipated album. Did it live up to its hype?
At least for me, I would say so. I really enjoyed this album. It's one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah, same. I think this is great. The title track was kind of hard for me to get into at first, but I get it now. I think the tempo changes kind of like threw me off a little bit, but like it's really well done.
they didn't just rest on their laurels for this. Like Apex was pretty big for them, and they started to blow up. And then they're still experimenting further, for better or for worse, on this album.
Yeah, I think they're really
works, but...
they're really like writing this concept album thing hard. I've kind of gotten jaded from concept albums because like I kind of have a phase now where I think concept albums are lazy.
they're
like,
not lazy with their concept,
full of filler
though.
songs, but this is absolutely not lazy at all.
Like Brittany does these like really in-depth videos on like what each song is about, and it's cool to listen
Right?
to.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Unleash the Archer fans, I have to admit it. But I think there's some cool songs here. I do recall that some songs that I like more are the ones that most people think aren't the best ones. So maybe my perception
Which
is
one
all
for you
of. I like Through Stars.
That's my least favorite, really.
Yeah, this happened.
The hot take over here.
We had different tastes. That's it. Maybe I'm just the weird one from for all the people that I talk to. I'm the weird one here. It's okay. It's a nice album. I'd say it has way more variety than Apex, the previous one, and I like that.
Definitely.
I prefer if I'm going to listen to a full album that it takes me to different places. Instead of being 1 hour of the same thing, unless that one thing it's like done to the maximum level, like in Inhuman Rampage.
Like in Human Rampage. Unless you're Dragon Force, just release like 10.
Then it's okay.
Just release like 10-minute long songs with like the fastest
if you're gonna stay on one, or if you want to stay stuck in one thing, you have to do it to its maximum expression.
Just play Faster Than Light like 10 times.
Otherwise,
Faster Than Light,
then you'll have a Dragon Force
I prefer
album.
variety.
Faster Than Light's my favorite.
Faster Than Light it's a cool song. Yeah.
It is the most like, this is a straight up fast, inspiring power metal track.
This is I can write a power metal song. Yes.
There's one quirk of Unleash the Archers that I've noticed. It's that I think it's all the songs they release as singles. If not all, like almost all of them, they all start with the vocals going, yeah!
I mean,
my God, my cat just
if you got it, you might as well use it.
Yeah.
It gets people's attention, especially... Okay, this is a conspiracy theory. Is it specifically for people to make shitty reaction videos to on YouTube to be like, okay, Brittany goes at the start, and then they're like, whoa.
You know, that's
to
good.
Dude, think about it.
It's to catch people's attention.
That's good marketing.
It works.
We always make fun of how people release like the worst song as a singles, because what we think is the worst song is probably the most mainstream sounding song.
Yeah.
But maybe the bands are just choosing songs that they think will gather the most attention as a single.
Yeah, they got to get attention. They have to also sort of represent the album.
Yeah. It's a hard thing to balance.
Like you mentioned, there's a lot of styles on this album, so I think they kind of had to show that in the singles. So you have Abyss, which kind of gets into more of the like the keyboardy stuff, what they do being a sci-fi album. You've got Soulbound, which is sort of a heavier song. Faster Than Light's like a super power metal-y song. You've got Return to Me, which is, I think, another one of my favorites. Is one of the more almost like straight death metal-y songs. Because in the story, that's like the one of the matriarch saying like, oh, I'm a huge badass evil person, so my vocals are going to be in harsh style, which is a nice touch to do with the like character building in a concept album. It makes sense in context, guys, actually.
Okay, lore guy.
I believe you, Mr. Lore Man.
Speaking of lore, Carry the Flame is like a fucking Disney romance song. I really like that one of the like 80s rock songs that
this is your dad rock power ballad. But
yeah,
you know what? Sometimes I like a
it's
dad
kind of
rock
homoerotic, like most dad rock.
Like
it's all
most
good.
rock.
All of the homo.
Yeah.
Please.
All
more homo. We love it.
I saw some people didn't like the like orchestral stuff in the last song, Afterlife. I was down for it, I think, as like a conclusion to this.
Oh, was this the one that was like, hi, I'm cosplaying Devin Townsend?
I don't know. I haven't listened to Devin Townsend.
Oh, it kind of is. There's like a ton of harsh too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, the context of the harsh vocals is like now that the immortal has defeated the matriarch and is free from his slavery, it's like he's still like this super powerful guy. And so there's this voice inside him saying like, oh, I can take revenge and just be like a super badass. And he has to be like, no, I'm going to live a good free life. Like that's what the song's about. Come on, guys.
I'm going to live forever, bitch. I don't know.
You don't even read the lyrics of the concept album? God.
I didn't. No.
Reading is hard.
Like...
Unleash the Archers is better at it than most, I would say.
Okay.
Their stories actually make fucking sense.
Yeah, no, I agree that they put a lot of effort into the stories. Yeah. I like the videos that like Brittany makes explaining the music video. Like I just remember I watched the one for Northwest Passage. The music video was like the band waking up in or like a parallel universe. Yeah. And I was like, this has nothing to do with like a Canadian trade route.
One.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with a Canadian trade route, but like it was cool and I appreciate the explanation.
Yeah, like sometimes they're like super about the story in the video and sometimes it's completely different. Like the Soulbound video is actually about the Soulbound, like the 4 sons of the matriarch that were killed in the whole part of the first album. Obviously, you guys know that.
Whoa, yeah,
but
obviously.
Then you have like the Faster Than Light video, which is them running on a track, as opposed to the actual story of the album, which is them like flying through space away from the matriarch.
Yeah.
Flying through space.
And then also getting this like self-realization that the real power was within them all along to fight the matriarch.
Wow.
It's so power metal.
Great.
My heart glows with the fire of 1,000 flames.
I can say that listening to the album in full, none of the songs felt particularly like this is filler that should be removed. So that means it's the songwriting
They're
is
all
not
doing
awful.
something different.
Yeah, so we're going through different moments for different emotions in the album or different places, and it doesn't feel like there's anything that's let's just put another track here just to make up for it. Like musically, it all seems to be part of the story. So that's good. That's something that a lot of bands fail at when doing a concept album and only thinking about the lyrics.
Yeah, if you want like a what the fuck concept album, you got Transitus by Aerion, which I think went too hard on the story concept.
That wasn't great.
I don't really know how to describe that album.
It was like a comic book. That's what it was.
It was a comic book that had like a Hammond organ and some riffs over it.
Yeah.
And Tommy, what's his face, singing a bunch.
Well, the performances were nice, but the music itself, the songwriting wasn't great. Let's just go through stuff that we actually liked.
Oh,
I had a good time being confused by Transitus.
I cannot get into Aerion. Like, don't fucking at me. Like, I can't do it. It can never catch my attention. Maybe I'm like not big brain enough for this.
Not big brain enough. It's too ultra prog.
Speaking of big brain, Helion Prime released an album this year called Question Everything, and it's about a lot of people with big brains.
A lot of big brains on this album. This might be the biggest brain album.
Yeah,
this is the biggest. This is the biggest of brains. All the songs are dedicated to like scientists.
Yeah, they went from
Which
sci-fi
is a pretty
to
unique concept.
Yeah, they went from sci-fi to actual science with this one, and it's really nice to have that concept, like saying, okay, we know there's these people, and they are actually like heroes to humanity because it's all about great discoveries that made our life what it is now, which might seem shitty, but it's really not.
Yeah, and they might not have gotten the recognition at the time.
Yeah.
So, maybe the songs will just like Sabaton, like encouraging people to Wikipedia historical events. Mm-hmm. Maybe this will encourage you to Wikipedia
scientists.
Like real life people, scientists. Yeah.
You know, you're a scientist, aren't you? Are you going to be a subject of a Helion Prime song someday?
I'm a scientist. No one's ever written a song about me. I've published papers. If you want to read them, you can. They're really boring.
They are really hard to read if you're not a scientist. I gotta say.
What if you put double kick drums in and some riffs under them?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Then hey, you got some.
Hey,
you got a
yeah,
stew going.
yeah. Maybe someone can read my paper along to blast beats.
So going beyond the concept, how did you guys feel about the music on Question Everything? Did you question everything?
I question
I
many things.
Definitely questioned.
I did question a few things.
Okay.
I question mostly the mix of the album. I don't like how it sounds.
Yeah, the vocals in particular I've seen seem really kind of buried. Like Mary Zimmer's a good vocalist, and especially the title track, you got 3 killer vocalists on there, and you don't know what the hell's going on with them.
Yeah, the keyboards, the synths on this album are just overpowering absolutely everything, and there's no clarity. There is actually one of the synths that's constantly clipping, like this distorting all the time, that to me it was like it took me out of the music, because suddenly this super loud distorted keyboard showed up doing ding, ding, ding. And it's like
the whole album, like or most of the album, has like synths just going over the whole thing. It doesn't fit. It overpowers the rest of the music, especially the vocals, and it pains me because there's some really good songs on here.
Yeah,
like I really like the title track is definitely the highlight.
I really
some
like
of the other good
ones
track. Are like like I also like Prof, Photo 51, Words of the Abbot. The Question Everything in particular is super strong track.
Yeah, Question Everything. It's probably one of the best Helion Prime songs so far to me.
Oh yeah,
and it's really good, but that's why I think it's a shame that it doesn't sound as good as it should, given the material that we have. And the 3 vocalists, like having a band that has gone through multiple vocalists and having them come back to do one song in this way, it's really cool.
Feel a good moment.
Because a lot of people, like maybe older people, we're used to like someone left a band. That means they all hate each other and they kick them out because they hate him or something. But this is not the case. This is a band that had some external things that life didn't adapt, and so the vocalists needed to change. And they are they're actually on their 4th one now, but there's 3 that
like
count. And
it's not you, it's me kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a friendly breakup.
Yeah, and so these people, like their first vocalists, they were still friends. They were still talking all the time. So having them back here, having Sosos back.
Heather like wrote the vocal lines for the album, didn't she?
Heather helped with the songwriting in general in the album, yeah. And that's great.
Which might be why it probably sounds, at least songwriting wise, maybe closer to the first album than the second.
Maybe, yeah, there might be some of it. I don't know if it's that much. I don't listen that much difference between all the albums in general. I think you can always tell it's Helion Prime.
I think the first album is just so distinct. It's less keyboard.
Yeah, that's probably more.
The rest.
But I think that's not so much the songwriting, but like the orchestration that they have, what instruments they use, and the overall mix. That's very, very different between the albums. But the actual melodies and main riffs that you get, they're not that different to me. But again, I think in this album there are some great moments, and Question Everything is just a great song all around. I just wish it had a better mix, a better production.
Yeah, I need the remastered version of this album.
Yeah.
Like Helion Prime definitely still have a lot of fire in them going forward, though.
Yeah, I hope they can continue doing what they do. Like we've been following them for a couple of years now, right? You guys more than me.
Oh yeah. I think we first realized they existed in 2016, like shortly after the first album came out.
Mm-hmm. And
I saw them in like a dinky bar in Sacramento with the original vocalist, and they like blew it out of the park. Is that the right word? I don't know. It was good. Good words.
It works.
Yeah, and that's really interesting for a band that's relatively small from the US.
Yeah.
Right? With power metal, it's so hard for a US power metal band to.
It's so hard
to
get recognition. Yeah.
So
they're part of the United States or North American power metal like family.
Yeah.
You got with like the connection to Lords of the Trident and like Unleash the Archers and all of them.
Yeah,
sure,
but Unleash the Archers already left the
Unleash the Archers
nest.
is well beyond
They've
broken through the glass ceiling.
The North American
the American
ceiling.
glass ceiling.
Yeah.
The North American continental shelf.
It's a shame they didn't get to do all those European festivals this year.
Yeah, that's
it's
the worst.
okay.
Yeah. But we'll get to see them again sometime.
But 2021 is coming and good things are coming.
What's interesting is to compare Helion Prime's album this year with Unleash the Archers as like the American female fronted power metal bands that also added more keyboards than maybe they needed to on their album this year.
Oh man, people love a keyboard.
Both albums kind of went in the same direction sound-wise. That's interesting, but they were not produced by the same people as far as I know. So it's just like maybe that's the movement now in the how do you call it, like I don't know, in the beast.
I guess both albums are like science-y, like Unleash the Archers is science fiction versus actual science, but does having a overpowering synth remind me of Alan Turing? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
It does.
Well, we still like the songs, and I think Question Everything is the best track for all of us. Do you have any other standouts?
Yeah, I like Prof. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Prof.
Like Professor?
Yeah, I guess.
Photo 51 is another good one. I liked Words of the Abbot. I think those would be my standouts on top of the Question Everything. I feel like those had like the least of the keyboard fucking with it, or at least were more interesting the way they did their like choruses or like different call and response type things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the album kind of falls down after Question Everything. I feel like that should have just ended it. Reawakening and Kong at the Gates are just kind of there. Maybe those are bonus tracks.
This is a long album.
Yeah, it's a longish album.
I got a nice shirt with the crowdfunding campaign though. So
my husband got like all this swag from them. He's a big fan.
I've got a sticker laying around somewhere that I'm never going to use, but hey, I got a cool shirt.
Yeah, which you can wear to a show which will exist.
I'm wearing my Dragon Force shirt from the show this year.
Oh, the last show that you went to?
Yeah, last show I went to like a week before everything shut down, San Francisco.
In March, right? Yeah, I remember that.
It was,
my last show was in February.
I had Dragon Force, Unleash the Archers, and Visions of Atlantis.
That's a solid lineup.
It was, yeah. I mean, Visions of Atlantis, God bless them. No one was there for them. Unleash the Archers was great live. Those guys are always a great time. They debuted awesome. Soulbound live, which was a lot of fun, especially because it has like the highest at the start of a song that I've ever heard Britney do.
Oh,
they love a scream.
And I like scared me. I'm like, Britney, calm down. You can't do that to yourself. Dragon Force was plagued by technical difficulties, but they pushed through it, and I love them for that.
Cool.
And it was my last show.
All right, it was your last show. No, I feel like you got your last show in just in time. Yeah. I remember in March we were like, oh man, I wonder if the Mayhem, Abbott, and Idle Hands show is gonna get canceled because that was supposed to be our last show, but it got canceled. Womp womp. So our last show was in February, which was Uada and 1349, black metal. So I don't know when my last power metal show was. This is depressing.
Yeah. Was it like something at Prague Power?
Was that my last power metal show? Was that Prague Power? That felt so long ago. Jesus Christ.
It was more than a year ago now.
I know. Oh, this is depressing. Okay. So to make us less depressed, let's hit up Kyle's Corner. So what's over here in Kyle's Corner? What does Kyle have to recommend to us?
We've been talking. I like me some just banging up, straight up power metal. I like the feel good stories, the up and comers, and I like Dragon Force. So we're gonna put all that together in a little band from I want to say Boston, called Perennial Quest. They're released in.
I saw this name and I was like, is this like the seasonal version of Power Quest?
what makes it seasonal? I don't even know what the word perennial means.
Perennial, isn't that like autumn or something?
We're gonna Google this
perennial?
live.
I'm gonna look up perennial.
Lasting or existing for a long or apparently infinite time. So it's the exact opposite of seasonal.
Oh my god! I am so wrong, and it's hilarious.
The more you know. Okay, so it's an infinite quest.
Yeah, I learned a word.
You're learning things on Powerful today.
I'm learning things. Oh! I think I know where I've heard it. I thought it was seasons. Okay, so a perennial plant is a plant that lives for more than 2 years. It's like, some plants just like die with the seasons.
Yeah.
Perennial plants
like my Christmas tree.
Yeah, I guess like trees that change leaves and stuff. A perennial plant doesn't die.
Right.
So this is a quest that doesn't die.
Right. It doesn't die, and it's also really good power metal. Like I mentioned Dragon Force, and I think this is one of those bands along the lines of like Shadow Strike and Fraser Edwards, where it's like they probably grew up listening to those first Dragon Force albums and are like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. And by God, they're gonna do that. So like if you fire up the first track of their EP that they put out this year, which is also called Perennial Quest, you're gonna recognize that like fast Dragon Force riffing style right off the bat. And that carries on into the rest of the songs with this highly melodic like bridge sections that they do. The end of the last track, Nightmare Horizon, just has this glorious like thing that I'm a huge sucker for. Lots of woes that they put throughout their songs. A little bit of keyboard, not too much, just spicing it up a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Shadow Strike I mentioned, but less twinkly. If we wanted to have another reference, I think these guys, they call themselves power thrash. This album felt less thrash than their first EP, which came out a couple years ago, called Warriors Through Endless Time, which also sounds like a Dragon Force.
That sounds like a Dragon Force
right
track.
there.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that's not already a Dragon Force title. But I think there is a big jump between that first EP and this one, where the production doesn't feel quite as amateurish, I guess, for lack of a better word. And the songwriting is less just we're going to go on wailing on our guitars for 9 minutes. So I think they've grown a lot in that couple of years. Super big fan of this EP. I've had it on a lot the last month or so.
Nice.
Yeah, this sounds pretty legit. I just like put it on in the background.
I'm gonna check it out for sure.
There's like a cool like acoustic bit and twisted circuits to like kind of break it up a little. So it's not like you're getting blasted in the face with like Dragon Force wannabes.
No, and they mix it up throughout each of the 4 songs on the EP.
And if you like Dragon Force wannabes, there's plenty of that too. There's like wah, 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 wah.
Oh yeah. You gotta have those like Nintendo sounds.
Yeah, cool. Perennial Quest, plants that don't die. Yeah.
Great.
Seven Spires also from Boston.
Yes, I think so.
Is Boston going to be the new hotspot of American power metal?
Boston.
Birthplace of the revolution, birthplace of the power metal.
Yeah,
sure.
Shout outs to
Why not?
Boston.
Shout out to Boston.
Shout outs to Boston. You guys got Sam Adams.
Some wicked smat power metal.
Chowder. Did I say it right?
Chowder.
Chowder. Yeah. Sorry, Boston listeners. I'm butchering your culture. Okay, so those are albums that we really liked in 2020. What was your favorite show of 2020? Oh, just kidding. There weren't any.
There were virtual shows. We had a lot of virtual shows.
I've seen the rise of the virtual live stream show.
Yeah, we actually have a show of the year.
Yeah, incredibly.
Incredibly.
No bias in this show of the year either.
No,
and we could say,
absolutely not.
We could say like it was a really low point of the year in August. Like
I feel like it's a really low point now again.
Maybe
we need another show of the year.
We need another show of the year. The thing is that August was like it was a point where due to the things that we do, it happened that all of us here had a lot of work. Like we've never worked so hard,
really hard
as this year.
I know.
And by August we were like, okay, how many months has it been? When will everything chill for a second, please.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Like, we were still releasing like interviews up until June. We were feeling like, yeah, okay, we can get through this. And then like July, August, we just all got really fucking sad.
Yeah, like I was moving and work is like, oh, we're not traveling
Work
anymore,
is-
which means we can work extra hard.
Work is relentless. Like, this year has been so hard for a lot of people. And like, I know that, you know, we should be grateful to have jobs or whatever. But like, just because you have jobs doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your quality of life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not cool to just overwork your employees. You hear that, employers? You hear that, you fucking corporate overlords?
No corporate overlords listen to this podcast.
No, none at all. If you are, fuck you.
Yeah. So we heard about Wacken doing this virtual live stream show. And one of the bands that were playing was our dearly beloved Blind Guardian. And so we all, with all the people that we know that like power metal, we just say, okay, let's just put it on, everyone, and just watch it at the same time. Since Blind Guardian is like the one band you can throw at the power metal group, and they will not.
And everybody will be
agree,
so happy.
Oh, I like Blind Guardian. They might argue about which Blind Guardian they like, which album, which is a separate thing, but everyone agrees that at least one aspect of Blind Guardian, they like it a lot.
Yeah.
So
Our favorite pastime is arguing about Blind Guardian albums. So it's a good time for all.
And we all got into this, and it was actually a really, really damn good show. And just following along
the best
on the chat.
like Blind Guardian set list.
Yeah,
I know. It was kind of like we all went to a show together.
exactly. We were just talking
Yeah.
via text chat while we're hearing it.
Yeah, we're just texting each
But
other.
it was such a relief at the time. It was really good. The set list,
To hear-
which I am,
It's all old school, fast
it's
stuff.
all old school. We had Into the Storm, Welcome to Dying, Banished from Sanctuary, I'm Alive.
That song always gets everybody moshing,
Yeah.
so I'm sure everybody was solo moshing at home.
I think I was sitting at my like kitchen table, just like eating lunch, but I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I was in my
we were
desk.
all just like headbanging at home
Yeah.
by yourself.
Headbanging at home, just blasting it and then turning it down when
You're
my
so-
brother needed to go into a meeting, and then blasting it
Oh
again.
my god. Yeah.
They played Lost in the Twilight Hall, Born in the Morning Hall, and a new song.
A new Blind Guardian song.
We had
A
a
new
so
Blind Guardian
was it
song.
just like a big orchestral thing, or what was it?
No, it was a real Blind Guardian song. Come on.
A real song.
because we had.
A real song.
If you haven't seen this, if you didn't know about Wacken and the way they did their show, they had the band actually playing in a set, in a stage.
it was like a good like augmented reality thing. It was really cool.
Exactly. And they had an augmented reality thing. They just had very poor CGI lights that represented the audience, and they were moshing and doing things and reacting, and they had proper lights on stage and everything. And Blind Guardian presumably was looking at the screen with all these little blobs of people. Someone was controlling responses of crowd sounds to what they say, so it all felt very nice. And they actually
They did a great job.
they delivered as if they were actually playing
Yeah.
live to thousands of people. It was
They
very
were great
convincing.
actors.
It's like watching
Yeah,
a DVD.
they were great actors.
And they were just the guys there. No crazy orchestral backing tracks or anything. It was just the two guitars, bass, keyboard, and drums, and the Hansi.
and the Hansi.
And the Hansi.
And it's
And
just
doing his two
great.
finger point.
And the new song
Yeah.
that's out of nowhere because nobody saw it coming. They just say, "Oh, we have a new song that we haven't even recorded yet," and it's just so damn good, old school Blind Guardian.
Yeah, it's like they got all of the symphonic stuff out of their system the last few years.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, fuck it. We're going hard. We're
It's
going
like-
fast. We're going heavy. So the song was Violent Shadows. That's a good song name.
That
if I've
sounds
ever heard
badass.
one.
It is,
I love
yeah.
it.
And it's really great. You can find it now. They released it like 2 weeks later, and it's just the
it's like
recording
an
of the
actual
show.
single now.
But it's just a recording of the show with some artwork. So that's something that surprises me thinking about it. How long has it been for you guys? Maybe you go to more shows than me, since you first hear a song as a live version before it's released, properly recorded.
Well, Unleash the Archers this year.
Oh, that's great.
The song had been recorded, but it was they debuted it at their live show.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember.
So not that long ago, all things considered.
That's something
like
that I
hearing
miss.
a new song live.
Since I get most of the shows that we share for me are international, right? And usually
us too.
When I get those shows, it's for stuff that's already released all the time.
Yeah, like everybody already loves the international bands. I mean, us too. Like we go to a lot of international shows, and they only tour when they have a lot of a decent recognition.
So having this big name band say, "Hey, we haven't released an album in a long time. We released a side thingy with an orchestra, and we just thought we have this new song. We are not sure how it's going to be in the album because we haven't recorded it, but we're just going to play it live for all of you."
That's badass.
However 1,000 people were watching. I didn't check the number, but it was really great. And it's like, the Blind Guardian can definitely play whatever they said to play because that show was flawless.
Yeah. That show was, I think, flawless is a great way to describe it. Like the energy was just so high throughout. It really was like they played for a full stage.
To answer your question again, though, I also heard Winter Sun debut new songs live. They've done it a couple times.
When does Winter Sun release something?
Oh, you know what? You're right. No,
hey.
No, never. They don't release things.
Both of the songs they debuted live that I've heard, they haven't actually released.
Was it the Way of the Fire?
Way of the Fire, and then there's a Storm something was the most recent tour.
They've played those songs multiple times, and Time 2 is probably never coming out. So
it's not.
It's a different. That's an extreme.
That's different.
It's an extreme.
That's different.
Yeah. So to get back on topic, Violent Shadows, it's I think they confirmed in an interview was that it's about the Stormlight archive with Kaladin, and he's flying through the sky and whatnot. Spoilers for one of those books.
Is flying through the sky a spoiler?
Sort of.
Oh, okay. I will not ask more questions.
But speaking of the Stormlight archive, Fernando, what do you have to say about power metal, about the Stormlight archive, and Kaladin in particular? He's a storm. They sometimes call him Stormblessed.
Yeah,
I have a lot of questions about Stormblessed, which is a song by Eons Enthroned. So this is a surprise.
Surprise!
This is a very exclusive interview that we are going to just flawlessly transition into right now. So.
We have the best transitions. Always have.
This is legit. It was so smooth that I didn't even realize it was coming. But aside from all the incredible power metal albums that we listened to this year, Fernando has been extremely productive in 2020, creativity wise. So Darko the Musician Wizard released an entire album, released several singles for Eons Enthroned, which is a project that he's on. So first, do you want to tell us more about Eons Enthroned? What the hell is this project? And just answer what the hell is this project?
What the hell is this project?
and who the hell is in it?
How does Eon become enthroned?
That's good. No, I think it's I don't know. I don't even remember how we came up with the name. I was there when we came up with the name, but I don't remember anymore. So Eons is an international collaboration project. It's just basically a bunch of dudes that like doing power metal, getting together through the magic of the internet to actually do it. We have multiple songwriters and multiple performers that do different stuff and in different songs. And we've been releasing a couple singles the past 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. And we have our main guy, Greg, who writes all the lyrics. He would be the one unifying thing. And he if he sees someone that says, "Yeah, I like playing power metal," he will tell him to come join us and do something, which is really
So how
fun.
many people do you guys have in the project so far?
Like 9.
9.
Something
Okay,
like that.
so Greg is building an army of power metal.
Yeah, he
That's what Eons
definitely is. We have songs like Stormblessed, where, for example, you heard the vocalist because it's Sosos who did the previous Helion Prime album. He has a bunch of songs with us. We have, I do a bunch of songs there. I play bass. I play drums for some songs. I do the mixing also. We have some other guys that I had on the Afterpain album, because that's how musicians work. You know someone, you put him on everything.
Yeah, Vani from Afterpain was on the newest track.
Yes,
right?
She sang along with Sosos for Twisted Red Door Frame.
That's so awesome. It's like an anime crossover.
Yeah, that's basically how I treat it in my mind. At least we had Dan.
Yes.
That we mentioned, Dan, who was on the show from
Dan.
Celestial.
Yes, our friend Dan from Celestival.
From Celestival, he plays guitars. He did solo guitars for a couple songs. He also mixed the first 2 ones that we released. We had another vocalist who goes by the name Sleeper, and we don't know his real name. We don't know what he looks
mysterious.
like. We just know that he lives in the US and can sing the power metals.
And he's very good at singing.
Yeah. Always sending 100 tracks of vocals, which is great.
He kind of has like a pop punk quality.
Yes, he could go fully pop punk
really cool.
if he wanted to.
It's really cool.
We had Randy from, I don't know, he just showed up one day. I don't know where Greg finds people, but he wrote Twisted Red Door Frame and did the whole orchestration, because it's like he actually studied like Dan. He actually studied music and everything, so he just showed us, I wrote these 2 songs and it's a full orchestra and everything. Okay, great.
That's amazing. Greg's just like walking around and like finding power metal people in a grocery store. Be like, hey, you
exactly.
You write power metal songs, and then some like uncles and be like, yeah. It's like, come join my band. We've got like 76 people.
Yeah, we had songs written by Jeff, which is one of the guitar players. We had songs written by Cody, which is another guitar player. We had a solo by Dennis. And it's we have a bunch of other people already here that we're seeing. Okay, it's like someone writes a song they want to do that's power metal that might not fit with anything else they are doing. Just throw it in here.
Just
and
throw it at
Eons.
It'll work. Yeah. So Eons has mostly been like releasing singles one at a time.
Yeah.
Are you guys ever gonna like make save up songs for an album, or is the deal to just gonna release singles, like 1,000
we
singles?
were releasing singles just because, okay, we have one song, let's do it. We have another song, let's do it. And like that. But during, I'd say when we released Stormblessed in January, we were like, okay, we have like 3 songs now in line to record. Let's save some more. Let's try to release an album. We wanted to release that this year, which is a full album where all the songs are about some work of literature. Like, it's something that at one point we noticed, like, hey, Greg, all these songs have lyrics about books. Let's put them in an album. Twisted Red Door Frame is actually about reading fantasy books. It's just made of quotes of fantasy books. So it would be like the... I don't remember if we're going to put it as the first track or the last track, but it's like the overarching concept of like, all these songs are about books.
That's really cool.
And I'm not sure when we're going to finish that. We're actually finishing recording songs right now. It's a bit like, okay, you have 3 people that need to deliver recordings for different things for one song. So everything takes a bit of time, but
Are you guys not putting the like original songs, the Dark Souls one and the Blade Runner one on there because they're not books?
Right. And they are really old, so it wouldn't make much sense. We're
we're getting all new albums from this massive power metal army, or all new songs.
Yeah, Stormblessed and Twisted Red Frame will be part of the album, and then we have like 6 other songs, I think. I need to check my notes.
Cool.
But yeah,
that's really exciting, and like potentially every song is gonna have like different musicians on it.
Yeah, there's different vocalists on the different songs and different musicians playing. Sometimes it's very evident, sometimes not so much. There's diversity due to the different songwriters mostly. Because like we have one song written by Sosos with Cody. We have one song that's written by Randy. Maybe we have one song that's written between Sleeper, Jeff, and Cody, and all the other combinations that we have. So it does for a kind of a diverse album. Should be fun.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Wow, I love the idea of like Greg walking around building a power metal army from random people
that's what he
all
does
over the
best.
world.
Yeah.
So this is amazing. Like Eons Enthroned. I remember like back when the subreddit existed, like Greg was like, "Hey, anyone want to make a power metal collaboration or something?" And it actually happened. Like that's incredible.
It took him a long time. Like I joined them.
It was years ago.
In 2017, and they've been going for a couple of years before that.
They'd already been going like through just Reddit and like Google Docs.
Yeah, exactly. They hadn't released anything, but they had like sharing snippets via SoundCloud and stuff. And now we have 4 singles out right now.
5?
4.
5.
There's
right?
5?
4. Oh.
If there's Dark Souls, Blade Runner, New Titan, Stormblessed, and Twisted Red Doorframe, that's 5.
Oh man, I love. All right. Cool. You know more about the band.
I'm not even in the damn band.
Well, they're on Spotify, so anyone wants to hear Eons Enthroned, just go on the Fi, and they are there with 5 singles. The Fi, 5 singles.
Yeah, I miss Blade Runner. I'm just dumb.
Very cool. And you probably mixed it too, so it's okay. You've got a lot of music floating around in your head.
Yeah.
Your main project is Afterpain, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, at least it was during most of the year and past 5 years with the Eons on the side.
Yeah. So for those listeners who aren't our friends and family, like giving us pity listens, do you want to introduce? Because, like, you know, apparently you told me that there's listeners to this show who aren't just our friends.
Yeah, there are.
And, like, parents.
There are a couple hundreds.
That's incredible. Hi, listeners. Do you want to tell us about Afterpain? Like, who are y'all?
Who are y'all? We're just 3 people.
That's not proper. 3 people.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned before, Bunny, the vocalist, and Mauro, who plays keyboards and writes most of the songs, alongside with Bunny, and I play everything else, which now is drums, bass, guitar, a couple backing vocals, and then mixing.
Oh my God, you literally do everything.
Yeah, it's not the best business decision. It's not great management to do everything yourself. Like, I'm so tired. We worked too much on the album.
Yeah.
And it got delayed because I had to do everything. So I have to record all the drums, and then I have to learn all the bass and record all the bass, and then I have to learn all the guitars, and that's not a good way to work. So I wouldn't do it again.
Is the plan for you guys to find like other vocalists? I mean, not vocalists. You have one.
Yeah.
Other musicians who aren't you.
The thing is that at least we've been looking for them here in Argentina because mainly one thing that bands here in Latin America might do more, maybe not that much more, but it's something that gets overlooked when we only consume music through the internet. Is that most bands here are about playing live, and if they ever record something and release it, is like an extra thing, or because they actually got a contract or something. So we actually played live for like 5 years by
Oh
now.
yeah, I've seen you've shown us your live performances, but you haven't, like, Afterpain has been around for a long time, but you guys haven't released and recorded material until very recently.
Yeah, exactly. I actually pushed the guys to record stuff because I like recording things if it hasn't become obvious. They didn't even think about it. Like, they've been together since 2012, I think, before I joined.
Wow.
And it was just playing live with songs, like with 9 to 10 songs going around. It's like, no.
You guys, you had an album's worth of things.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to, like,
There's even
put that shit down. You gotta share it with the world.
Yeah, put that shit down.
There's even songs that were played live for a couple of years that didn't make it to the album, that were like cut. Because these old songs are not so good. So yeah.
So the Endless Cycle. I noticed that all the song titles and lyrics are like really dark, and like someone is dealing with some really misery. Yeah, darko. Like someone is they're so sad. They're like misery and enemy, and like someone is dealing with some real shit like inside their heads. So what inspired this sad song titles lyrics?
The one way that we used to introduce our band to other people, to tell them what we played, was like, you remember Evanescence? That's like that, but a bit faster and louder.
Easy enough.
So Bunny wrote most of the lyrics. I did some meddling with those lyrics, and Mauro wrote Despair of the Brave. And some of them are a bit of downers, but some are not. Like Flying Dreams is like a more happier.
That's like the only not.
Yeah.
That's like the most power metal-y one. Like,
and that's the power metal one. Yeah, that's the power metal one.
Yeah.
That's one of the newer songs. So you can imagine who brought the power.
Had power metal.
Whoever would have done such a thing?
Because
bringing power metal influence to this very dark.
There was a moment some years ago when I had recently joined the band, when we were talking about the style of music and the sound, and one of the prime directives from Mauro was, we do not play power metal.
Oh my God, no.
But then, you had to eat at them very slowly through the years without them realizing. And then you have reviewers calling you power metal.
Like, crap, we just made power metal. No!
But
accidental power metal.
If you look at, most of the songs talk about a personal struggle with the people that surround you, and how sometimes it's like you feel shitty, and you have like you want to be with people, and to be, if you're only a good person with everyone and you try to make up for all their flaws, it just ends up eating at you. It eats away at you. It just goes against your own well-being, just trying to make up for everyone else's defects or things that might be bad for you, and you're just like trying to say, oh, no, it's okay, I will power through it, and then eventually just going over and breaking and saying, okay, I cannot keep living like this, and I will have to be a bit shitty myself just to protect myself from everyone else's shittiness.
That's very sad and very relatable.
But then finding that sort of relief, like, I need to cut people out of my life, and that will help me. And even if that feels like I am the bad guy, it's just for me to survive and be and have a nice time, at least, I guess. It's like not like a super concept album. You'd have to really squint at it to call it that. But that's roughly what most of the songs sometimes talk about. Mainly in the track Monster, which is one of my favorites. One of the band's favorites, not the audience's favorite, but
I like that one.
Nice. It's precisely about that, about saying, okay, I recognize that you are not a great person, and now I recognize that I have to like let go and not just try to say, okay, I need to be a bit of a bad person myself if I want to get out of this shitty deal of you just bossing me around all the time, and I have to put limits to things, and I'll become the monster
it's called
now.
Boundaries. Oh,
Just because that's
so
what
much sense.
will let me survive.
Would you say you're trying to take those bad things and say bye to them?
Yeah, in a way.
Oh my gosh, the album. This album is incredibly badass. We have a lot of internal struggle, and then the final track is a cover of NSYNC's "Bye Bye Bye."
Yes.
I love it. It's amazing.
I love that song. And initially, Mauro wanted to have that song in the middle of the album.
Oh my gosh, that
I don't know
would be
about
very...
that.
Yeah, that was a highly contentious thing that we had to work out, because it's like every person that I asked, they told me, no, you can't have a cover
Just put it...
that is not like an extra song. Even if it fits, because it fit musically in other spots, but in the end, we just went with that because...
This sounds like it's kind of like a bonus track.
Yeah, it's like a bonus track.
Yeah.
In the end,
I love the keys solo in this.
Oh yeah, we love it too.
It's very cool.
That comes from not being able to write a proper guitar solo. Like I was Bye Bye Bye. I wrote that version. I actually wrote it like 3 years ago, but never recorded it.
Okay.
And I tried to write a guitar solo, and then realized that it was unplayable on guitar because I was just like writing it on the computer. And after months of listening to it through a synth in the computer just as a placeholder, it was like, hey, maybe it's playable on the synth, on the keyboard, so let's try that, and it worked out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You made it on one kind of keyboard, and then you recorded it on another kind.
Yep.
It only makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like, it's weird to think of that song is 20 years old now. And
yeah, I mean, I was like a little kid when I was really into that song.
You're like
2000.
you're like an embryo.
yeah.
Hey, I existed.
You existed. That's great.
I actually read a couple of reviews of the album of people like they didn't know the song. Like,
yeah. Are you serious? They didn't know Bye Bye Bye. They thought it was an original. Like, wow, what a great song.
Yeah, it was like, this song sounds really different from all the others, and it's like less metal and everything. And then I searched for it, and it was a song by a
cover,
synth.
you child.
Yeah, and then they found it, and it's like, it really surprises me. Because
that's
it's
hilarious.
A huge song. Like, it's 20 years old, but everyone knows this song.
It's like NSYNC's most famous song.
It is. And it was like, when it came out, it had the record for the most sales in the first week, which is like a measure of hype, basically. Everyone went to buy it when the single came out, and it kept that record for 15 years. So there was...
What dethroned it?
Ridiculous.
Adele's Hello dethroned it.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Adele. What happened to her? Anyway.
She still makes music, to my knowledge.
Yeah, she still does stuff.
Yeah.
So
is that Afterpain? That's
Afterpain.
Quite a thing you made.
There's
that was
symphonic
Afterpain.
metal, a bit of power metal, a bit of thrash metal, mostly symphonic.
Obviously inspired by modern Nightwish. For people who wish Evanescence had guitars.
Speaking of getting inspired by modern popular bands.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Should we pull back the curtain on the Do?
All right. So okay, let's talk about the Do. So we've talked about Sabadu for an entire last episode, but I don't think we ever really explained what Sabadu is.
We didn't.
And like our relationship to Sabadu.
It's the internet.
Like, are they
internet's worst kept secret in power metal?
Yeah, internet's worst kept secret. So is Sabadu a collection of Sabaton superfans from Poland?
Unquestionably, yes.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what this says in the description of the... No, it doesn't have a metal archives. We talked about it last week. Like, if we as in, like, if you, like, let's say that you were a group of people from Poland
You would have decided maybe not to make a Metal Archives page yet?
Yeah, probably not yet, because you have all the people at Metal Archives actually dig stuff to write the proper information.
Yeah.
And I think people like the fact that Sabadu is just a bunch of Polish metalers that have the same names as the Sabaton members, but spelled differently.
Joakislav
Brodek.
Antomi
Reinschid.
So
the rain seed part of it is what really does it.
So since we are unsure about our connection to Sabadu, maybe Darko can like pretend that like put himself in the role of Joakislav and help answer some questions for us.
So Sabadu had their second song just recently, The Very Polish Christmas. Lots of Christmas songs coming out this year.
Yeah.
Tommy Reinschid, he had his whole Majestica album, and then the Polish version of Tommy had this song. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Tomasz Reinschid.
A Very Polish Christmas about punching Hitler in the face in 1942.
Yeah. I love that Sabadu is very anti-Hitler and anti-Nazi, and you guys, not you guys, they they are very anti-Hitler, and it's great because we should all like fascism and stuff is not cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely not cool. This makes Sabadu this already makes Sabadu greater than Sabaton in my book.
They're better than black metal.
They are better. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're not shy to be like, hey, Nazis are bad. Mm-hmm. Don't kill people because of who they are. Yeah. Like, is that so controversial? Sabadu has like heavier guitars, a better chorus, and arguably a better vocal performance than Sabaton.
I don't know about that. But
I don't know about that.
The tank choir in Mighty Polish Tank is so good. The tank choir, yo.
The tank choir is good.
And even the tank choir is amazing. And I love the guitar solos. I love the guitar solo in Mighty Polish Christmas. I mean, A Very Polish Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Good. Yeah.
There's actually a playthrough of it now on YouTube. A playthrough of the solo that Thomas Reinschid, Jakimek uploaded technically.
Cool.
And there's also if you're interested, dear listener, in Sabadu, Jokic Slobrodek has a YouTube channel as well, and he has submitted a cover to the Blind Guardian cover song contest. Hopefully he'll show up.
I really hope they show that.
Me too. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
They've done 2 episodes and hasn't made it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
What might be the quickest way that Sabaton can listen to Sabadu? I really hope that they hear it.
I don't know.
That would be the goal.
We haven't seen like we are clearly we need to research power metal all the time, so we look all this stuff up, and we haven't found any evidence that Sabaton has listened to Sabadu or what they think about them. But people in the comments are always commenting like, "Hey, Sabaton should listen to this." What do they think about it?
Yeah, I know. That's
and Sabaton fans like the songs. Non-Sabaton fans like the songs. That's nice,
right? Everybody loves the songs.
Everyone wins.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wins.
Okay. Well, we will continue to monitor the YouTube comments, and I feel like that's the best way to figure out whether Sabaton has listened to Sabadu or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope they do a YouTube video of it, or at least in like a social media comment at the very least.
Yeah, that would be so cool. What was the inspiration behind Mighty Polish Tank? Like, let's say that you are Jokislav Brodek, Like, what would inspire you to write Mighty Polish Tank?
Clearly, just the Polish nationalism and patriotism, the real pride of the battles of 1943 and whatnot.
Right.
Of 21st of August in 43.
In the date where nothing happened.
Where the Polish... No, you mean the Polish tanks arrived on that day.
And yeah.
Punch Hitler in the face.
I'm not a great lyrics guy, but if I had to take a guess, it sounds so cool. Why not talk about it? Why not sing about tanks hitting awful people in the face? It's like the coolest thing ever, right? We just choose a date. Great. We say that something happened in this state, and that thing that happens is tanks doing cool things.
Was there a ratio of tanks to other tanks, or is that?
I think that might come in a new song probably. If Sabadu keeps doing stuff.
There's a new song. Yeah. Wow, that's so exciting. Do you have any inside scoop on whether Sabadu is working on a full album?
I'm not sure. I don't think they will work on a full album because.
So it might just be like a series of like amazing songs
every couple months. Because when you try to do an album, like I think I mentioned this in other episodes of the show, like doing an album is a lot of work, and it just releases one day, people listen to it and move on. And maybe you are forcing yourself to fill an album with songs, like say, it has to be an hour long, it has to have 9 songs, and maybe you actually have 5 good songs, and then you have filler. And we mentioned that, like, we like this, but half the album I will never listen to it again. Then maybe it's better, since with the distribution of digital singles now being just the most basic thing ever, just click, you listen to it, to just focus on making good songs every couple months. And that's probably what Sabadu would do. Because if you look at them... Oh,
man, I'm so excited.
Sabadu released 1 song in June and 1 song now in December.
Dude, 2 Sabadu songs a year? That
would be great.
And they're gonna be like high quality songs. Like, these 5 Polish folks are real talented.
It seems like a more sustainable model to go that route.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can go do their
because
their regular life, their Polish
you'll
things.
probably never see Sabadu live. It's not something to consider.
That's so disappointing.
So
that would be amazing, though.
Oh my gosh, you just broke the hearts of thousands of dozens of Sabadu fans.
Like, it'd be really hard to have a band that only has 2 songs done to play a live show anywhere. And
maybe if at like a related band's show, they could cover a Sabadu song. If there were any related bands, to Sabadu, which
man,
maybe
who are known for doing things that are silly and dumb. I don't know. Yeah, just spitballing.
Mysterious, pirate related bands.
Yeah.
I don't know. Poland's landlocked. They probably don't have too many, pirate ships.
Yeah, you're right. They are quite landlocked. Maybe they have land pirates that drive trucks or something. And they can pirates in Tennessee. Like, pirates loot things through boats, right? Like, maybe pirate trucks can drive next to a truck and
you have to get very fast Japanese import cars, all decked in black with green lights underneath, and then you go and drive next to the trucks, you fire a hook into them and steal all the content.
Yes. Yeah, and you can steal contents of things on the mountainside by dropping cars out of an airplane. Yeah. And
how does this turn into the Fast and Furious?
The cars will have parachutes, and then the cars will open the parachutes and land on the ground, thus reaching inaccessible things to plunder. This is what a car pirate would do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I hope they do something related to tanks drifting, and we get some sick.
Oh my gosh! I would be
Eurobeat tank drifting.
As a big Initial D fan, I would be so excited for Sabadu tank drifting song
Totally.
in Eurobeat style. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you, dear listener, who is not our friends and family, haven't heard Sabadu, this is if you've gotten nothing else out of this episode, just check out Sabadu, Mighty Polish Tank, and A Very Polish Christmas.
Definitely.
This is what I will remember. This is what the only thing I will remember from 2020.
That's the most important part. Forget the like dozens of other albums we've talked about. It's only
No,
this.
it doesn't matter.
Definitely. It's like they are great songs. And actually, I got into, the Spotify Wrapped thingy.
Yes.
And one of the categories on the little things that it says like the one song that helped you get through it all, and it threw Mighty Polish Tank. And it's like
Mighty
it's
Polish
the
Tank?
truest sentence that Spotify
Oh
has
my
ever
gosh.
spoken to me.
Mine was Glint, I think.
I don't remember mine. It might have been Glint too.
Most likely.
If I
Yeah.
extrapolated like the Fellowship EP into a full album, I think it would be my easy number one of the year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Maybe that will be
Glint and Mighty
2021.
Polish Tank.
Yeah, what are we looking forward to in 2021?
Oh, I have one.
What is that?
So Roberto Messina rejoined Secret Sphere.
Oh yes, this was
The
very
ri-
recent.
The original vocalist of Secret Sphere rejoined the band after Michel Lupi left a few months ago.
Mm.
And they are anticipated to release new album March 2021.
Was it Spheres United? The conjunction of the
Spheres
spheres.
United.
Is it Witcher themed? Dude, we figured it out.
Maybe I will not confirm nor deny because I do not know. Yeah, very excited. That's the only thing I'm excited about because I cannot see 1 week into the future. Time is a blur and a mess.
Well, time what is time, and Blind Guardian is doing a new album next year. They're recording it. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna have Violent Shadows on it, plus other cool things. That's my number one. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
I think they said
that's
fall.
very
for that.
exciting.
Fellowship, like we said, targeting some point here. They've done some behind the scenes stuff on their Facebook, and the little snippets are sounding good. I think we're gonna have a banger on our hands.
Oh, that's real exciting. I stopped using Facebook, so I'm gonna have to get all my updates from you.
I only use Facebook to
Thanks.
follow bands. I don't use it for actual social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No one does anymore. It's just like the algorithm feeding you conspiracy theories.
Yeah, no, don't do
So
that.
you could so you could just unfollow everything and just like only follow Fellowship.
Exclusively bands and meme pages.
Mhm.
Or just Fellowship.
Or just Fellowship.
Yeah,
or-
you don't need anything else.
You can also toss Dragonland on there. They just posted the other day that they've like demoed all the songs for their
You
next
know
album.
what?
It's gonna
I
happen.
still don't. I don't believe it. I don't
How
believe
many
it.
years have we said
Dragonland?
this? Like Dragonland not
It's-
happening.
I know.
It's gonna happen. I'm feeling good. Hey, we got some comebacks
When
this
was
year.
their
We got
last release?
we got Falconer. We got fucking Fairyland.
Yeah, but
fucking Demons and
Falconer
Wizards. Like,
exists, and yeah, but they all exist and like
Dragonland's gonna do it,
release albums. When their last release was in 2011,
and it was really
Come
fucking
on.
good.
it was okay. I used to like it a lot, but then I re-listened to it. I'm like, this is fucking. Maybe I just got mad that they never released anything.
It's probably
else after that. Yeah, I'm probably just mad. I'm just like very mad all the time,
Like we mentioned,
which is fine.
Seven Spires likely to have a new album next year. Pretty quick follow up, but I guess what else have they got to fucking do?
Yep.
So go for it. I believe Frozen Crown, another big band I like, is working on a new one for next year as well. I'm glad they didn't just do immediately a third album like they did with the second one.
Yeah, it was too fast. We didn't even have time to process.
Yeah, here it's like the same deal. Like they did tour with Dragon Force and everything, and then everything died down. They are in Italy,
Yeah.
so they were like at the moment I think they were just finishing their tour and got into complete super lockdown time, and
Yeah,
eventually they just
Italy
said,
was like super COVID.
yeah, and eventually they just said, okay, let's start writing the new album, and they are working on it right now.
I think Ordino Gone is supposed to have a new album, and like it got like delayed because of COVID. They wanted to be like closer to the tours. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to listen to. All of the singles have been weird, though.
Okay.
Fun.
Okay.
But I don't know. I haven't really been excited about Ordinal Gone since like To the End.
To the End's good, though.
Which was like 2014, maybe?
Somewhere around
Forever
there.
ago.
Yeah, 10,000 years
And we're
ago.
still waiting on the Halloween album that got delayed.
The Pumpkins United
The
one.
Pumpkins
Yeah.
United full album. Hopefully it will happen next year.
We're getting real blue ball on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. The shows were great, so it's okay. Like those shows, the memory of those shows will last a long time.
I feel like it's best experienced live. I think that was one of my favorite shows. So
For sure.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Ascension's got a new album
Wow.
coming next year as well. They actually recorded it and we're posting stuff from it. For your fans of Fraser Edwards and Sharky Sharky.
Yeah.
It's been fucking...
For any children who are listening to the show, which I hope not, because I just said
I'm a
fuck.
child.
Because I just said fuck you a bunch of times. I just said it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we are actually
If you're a
tagged.
child listening to this podcast an hour and a half or 2 hours or however long it is in, fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Fuck
We are
you.
tagged as explicit content. So
Yeah, we're explicit content.
you
so,
are
telling
aware
you.
of what
You know.
Go
you're
away.
doing.
Yeah, we
Yeah, monitor your
I
kids'
forgot what I
online
was gonna
activity
say.
and monitor their taste in power metal. Both very important.
yeah, and set good boundaries with, your friends and family. Don't let people fuck you over. Like, take care of yourselves. Wash your hands.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask, reuse, reduce, recycle. If anyone has questions about vaccines or mRNA vaccines or how they work, I am literally paid to do this. I'm a scientist. So just message the Powerful Podcast account and be like, hey, I don't get mRNA vaccines. Can you break it down for me? I explained to my parents that no, the vaccine isn't going to alter your DNA. It's just to trigger an immune response so that your body knows what to expect and you won't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds nice.
But
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's nice. Yeah, I await the day when we can all be protected from stupid COVID so we can have power metal shows again. Because
We
I
need it.
can't remember my last
We
power metal
definitely
show.
need it.
It might have been Prog Power, and that makes me fucking sad.
Mhm.
We need shows to survive.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's all we got. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we will see you on our next episode.
Whenever that
have
might
a
be.
mighty
We don't know.
whenever that we don't even know when that'll be. So have a mighty Polish Christmas and and stay powerful.
Stay
Stay powerful, everyone.